I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. And we're back for another exciting episode of the Palumbo Podcast. Of course, we're joined by John Romano and Lee Priest. And I have to start off by saying, guys, that have you been following this Planet Fitness stories? I know we've been talking about it.
Yes, with the guy in the bathroom.
Yeah, some guy was walking around with a schlong out in the women's room. They arrested him.
Right. And then they arrested the women that reported him.
Yeah, no, but
taking a picture of him because
the first they arrested the woman who reported him, but then I think there's a new thing now where the guy got arrested. They got arrested, and the guy who started Planet Fitness went on a podcast and was bashing them. I guess because he sold it recently, and he's like all the things that he wanted to do, they've gone against it, and they're all woke now, and he's trying to distance himself from it. But you know what the truth is? I see all these bodybuilders complaining about Planet Fitness, and you know what? They all go there. Why aren't every single one of us boycotting that freaking place?
What? For two reasons.
No, because these guys tell me, oh, it's around the corner from my house. It's $10 a month. I'm like, yeah, but you're supporting this. Right. You're supporting this lunacy.
I think look,
he got a bodybuilder on the wall with an X through it. Why would you go there?
But convenience and price in this economy is like
you got to stand up for what's right.
You are right. You are absolutely right. And Lee agrees.
No bodybuilder should train there.
No, none, zero.
I'm having my 5 a.m. breakfast of popcorn.
If there was a picture of a Chinese person on the wall with an X through it, would a Chinese person work out there? No.
No. You have a great point. I agree.
But
there's still a but to it. The but is that in some cases there is no, and I know two people like this personally. There is no alternative that will work for them between kids getting picked up, and it's either workout or not workout, and that's really what.
Find another place. There's a million
gyms. It's just, in a small percentage, but overall, I would say for 95% of the cases or more,
99.
You are 99. Yes, 0.5.
Bodybuilders, unfortunately, are cheapos, and for $10 a month, they'll go there, and that's why they're doing it. But you're supporting something that has a X through a bodybuilder when you walk in the door. You can't do that in good conscience. Now you're gonna complain about the fact that they got guys with schlongs hanging out in the women's bathroom. Don't go there.
Would Robert Goldstein train at Hitler Fitness?
Exactly. It's exactly right.
Definitely not going in the shower. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You never know what might come out of the faucets, right?
Exactly.
Then again, for $10 a month, they are cheap. So fuck, they might go.
Yeah, but see, that's and that's endemic of our little society is that there's bodybuilders. A lot of them are 99 cents short of a buck all the time. And so $9 a month to train, and then you get free pizza and free Tootsie Rolls. I mean, come on, that is an undeniable deal to some people.
Right? You can't complain about the place if you're supporting it. Sorry.
Well, I complain about my local grocery store because they rip me off, but because it's convenient, I sometimes still go there. I just do a video and complain about it while I'm there.
Yeah, but they don't have a picture of you on the wall with an X through it, Lee.
Some of the videos, I walk around
not yet, at least
now, and they're like, "You're the guy that did that video on Coles." Yeah, fuck Coles. Everyone's seen it. Even old people go, "We love that video that went viral of you ripping off the self-checkouts and that." So when I go in there, sometimes the people serving me look at me like, that's the prick that fucking ripped us off online.
Lee, it would be like if you ran an animal shelter and that Daddy Aioli guy came in and you adopted out a cat to the guy.
You're not going to adopt.
Breaking news, though. my wife was outside too a couple of nights ago, and she comes inside drunk with a cat. I'm like, where'd you get the cat from? She's like, I was across the road. It was in someone's yard. I said, well, fucking take it back. It's probably their cat. So she took it back. She took it back, and the next day I come home from the gym. It's out the front under a car. I'm like, oh, the poor cat is freezing cold. Oh, by the way, freezing cold. John, Raleigh, North Carolina, winds 32 miles an hour today.
Yeah, it's windy as hell here.
Just saw Al Roker on TV. I just thought I'd let you know. So the cat was still there. So
Al Roker looks like he's. I don't even know how he's still moving. He looks like he's like dead, but he's alive somehow, right?
He lost a lot of weight, though.
He lost too much weight. They should kick him off TV. I don't recognize him anymore. Sorry. He looks too scary.
Him and Al Sharpton.
Yeah, Al
Sharpton looks like he's got cancer.
Some people are just meant to be fat, and that's all there is.
Al
to
Sharpton was one of them, and so is. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Every comedian also. You can't lose weight if you're a comedian and still be funny. I'm sorry. Seth Rogen's
if you were fat. I mean, right, exactly. Like John Candy could never have lost 200 pounds and came back and be funny.
No, he can't. It's like Drew Carey. Drew Carey. Right. You know that guy Drew Carey? He does the Prices Right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's all glasses now. He was a fat, funny guy. He's a skinny, not funny guy now.
What's his name? From he was in the King Kong movies, and that he was in Roseanne. What's his name? He's lost.
Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold.
No, Tom Arnold.
The other one. What's his name? The fake husband. John Goodman.
Yeah. He looks weird. He's lost all that weight.
Yeah, he doesn't look. He's not as funny either.
Well, here's what happened. They discovered Ozempic and growth hormone and IGF-1 and testosterone, and they're all getting jacked up on as much anti-aging shit as they can, and it all makes them lose weight. So but they don't work out. So they look like The Walking Dead when they lose weight. They lose all their muscle too. Right, exactly.
You know what I love though is like Reba Wilson, Adele, the singer. When all these overweight people lose weight, the amount of hate they get from other fat women is like, oh my God, why are you doing that? Why are you conforming? And they're like, I just want to be healthier and feel good. How dare you lose weight? And I'm like,
Adele happens to be a very good looking woman too, even when she's heavy.
I couldn't pick her out of a crowd.
Adele?
Yeah. I listen to reggae and rap. That's it. So and jazz, a little jazz here and there.
Biggie was big.
Yep, Biggie was big.
Yeah, imagine Biggie Smalls like skinny. It wouldn't work.
That would not work. He wouldn't even sound good. It would.
If he was skinny, he'd be Tupac.
Maybe they were the same person. That's why they're both not alive anymore.
It could have been.
They all look alike. I can't. I did watch my Gary Phillips I saw last night, and I spent 2.5 hours watching. It's almost put together. They still got to add some stuff. The new Lee Priest documentary.
Oh, really? I can't wait to see it.
And Dave said some nice stuff.
I did? Oh, I thought he would. He must have cut out the bad stuff. I
was watching people, but somebody, I'm going to have to get him to take it out because someone goes, I can't remember who it was. Lee got suspended for talking bad about Jim Mannion and his family. I'm like, I've never spoke bad about Jim Mannion.
That? Never.
That was me. Remember that time? Oh, who the hell was it? I got chastised for Lee's words to Tony came up to me at the Nationals and tried reaming me a new asshole for something that I said about her, about bending over or some shit. And I'm like, that's not Lee said that, So I got, because Jack I'm cool with Jack, I don't even know her. So he said something like, you just should have let her rant. I go, I would have if it was my fault, but I didn't do it. So I went back. I found the Shotgun Big Show where we said that, and it was Lee. And so I wrote her back, and I go, I sent her an email, and I go, look, unless I adopted an Australian accent in the last couple of years, it wasn't me.
That was John.
So I didn't even mention Lee's name.
John was moving me like a ventriloquist puppet.
Yeah. What happened?
John was moving me like a ventriloquist puppet.
Oh, is that what it was?
He was like channeling his thoughts through me, and I just said,
I'm going to be at Ann and Jack's show at the end of the month, actually. So I have to get along very well with them. I'll tell them. I'll remind them again. It wasn't you.
Yeah, remind them of that story.
I'll say it wasn't John. It was Lee.
Yeah,
I think the Shotgun Big Show ended like that's the one that finally put the nail in my coffin for the lifetime suspension and everything.
Man, we went so nuclear in that show.
Yeah, you guys lost your mind in that show.
Like, we gave the good and the bad. We gave the IRONMAG.
Yeah, we did.
Well, you almost got beat up by Aaron Singerman too, Lee, because of that show.
Yeah. And that was another one too. That's another one.
We sent him a wedding present on the air. We like picked it out of the catalog and paid for it with my credit card and sent it.
What did you buy him?
What was it, Lee? A wine opener or something? It was a
like
wedding gift. Yeah.
And
it wasn't even a gag gift. It was a serious gift.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was like a nice razor blade and a couple of straws. Metal straws.
Lee must have changed the order.
Got the gift at the last minute.
I went back and said this would be more useful.
He edited the shopping cart after we logged off.
Check this out, guys. Hold on. You get a kick out of this.
Another one that got it wrong. He'd go tell people, Lee wished death on my unborn child. And I said to John on the show, imagine him being your father. I'd rather die than have him as a father. And somehow that turned into.
You never said. Oh, I didn't even know you never said that. Okay.
Yeah, no.
I said if I was his kid, I'd rather be dead. And that somehow became wishing death on his unborn child.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's a little better then. Okay.
Yeah, he knocked that up.
Look at this retard, John.
Well, this could be anyone.
What?
What's that?
What is that?
I think he injected synthol into his lats.
Is that like weird? It's like breasts on your back.
What the fuck? It looks like another ass.
Wrong? Can you tell me what's wrong with people?
No, well, where do we start?
What the fuck?
Hold on,
it looks like another ass. It looks like an upper ass. Yeah, guy's got an upper. He's got an upper glutes.
I think he got the glute implants in the wrong place, John.
How do you even reach that? What do you have to have somebody else do that to you?
Yeah, if he's gay and got a lover, his lover's got like a double entry.
There you go, Lee. He could do threesomes now, and everybody gets their own place.
Look at his butt cracking up there. It's like he brings DP a new meaning. This guy.
Yeah, exactly.
People are just out of their freaking mind.
At the same time, while you're doing him in the rear, he could hold your book.
I think there's people out there that say to themselves, let me think about the stupidest place I could put synthol that no one else has done it before. You know,
and who's got to be looking at that the most?
But as I pointed out,
in the side lats to make it wider at the back, you know.
Dave, how did he reach that?
Well, he probably had someone do it.
Somebody was doing that to him. I mean, on purpose. Yeah.
Maybe he's transgender. He went for breast implants, and he laid the wrong way on the table, and the doctor didn't look. I went. Oh.
Gives new meaning to the term "tits on a bull."
Oh my God! Yeah, there's some seriously demented people out there. That's for sure.
Speaking of which, we have to talk about O.J. Simpson dying.
Oh yeah.
You know, when that came on, I brought back memories. I just moved to one of my apartments on Venice Boulevard.
Yeah.
And I just moved in. So all I had was the big TV on the floor, pillows and a blanket. And I sat there watching that. And I watched it, the chase that was like.
Oh, the chase, yeah.
And I'm thinking, I sat there all day. I didn't even go to the gym in the morning. I just watched it to the end. And I'm like, when he gets out the car, please shoot him. I've sat here this long, something. And he gets out and goes into the house. I'm like, that's it. I sat here and watched all this, and that was the end.
When you were watching that, Lee, did you think there was any way in hell that this guy was going to get off at that point? I mean, the guy ran.
At that point, we still didn't really know because we just knew they found the body.
Well, yeah, but he ran, so you knew that there was something that he did wrong. You know, at this point.
Yeah, but I tell you, his dream team of all the lawyers he had, and then if it doesn't fit, you must be quit, and then Furman being. They said he was racist because he had used the word a few times. So that went in OJ's. Like everything fell in OJ's favor by the inept of the police force and everyone else.
There's more. You guys got to remember what the climate was like in LA back then.
From the riots.
Because 2 years ago, 2 years before OJ killed everybody, you had Rodney King being beaten to almost death by the cops.
Right. Right.
Then you had the riots, and then you had, all of that was, turmoil within the LAPD was getting brought to a head. And then boom, here you have OJ, who became an example of finally, the black man getting his due. So he was more of a figurehead image for black cultures, getting one over on the cops finally, rather than it being the other way. So he was at the right place at the right time with respect to that. And he had the money to buy that insane legal team.
Right.
I mean, millions of dollars he spent on that, and totally outdone.
He had Cochran. Was it Cochran, F. Lee Bailey?
Kardashian.
Kardashian was only on the team because they didn't want it. They wanted him not to be able to testify because he was his friend. That's why they pulled him.
Dershowitz too.
Dershowitz,
Kardashian, F. Lee Bailey.
Isn't it funny? All those guys got the terrible, futures.
Dead and disbarred.
Cochran died.
Yeah,
Bailey got disbarred. Dershowitz is a lunatic now. He's on Epstein Island.
Cochran died. Yeah.
Yeah, Kardashian died. Right.
Died. Yep.
Crazy.
He's a bit. Kardashian. I'm not sure if he died or committed suicide, because living with those nutters, you'd probably just end it. So.
Yeah. Oh man, can you imagine being the sane alpha male in that?
Well, look what it did. Look what it did.
Weren't they separated already? Were they divorced already?
Yeah, I think they were.
Well, look what happened to Bruce Jenner from living with them.
Yeah, he turned into a woman. Yeah,
yeah, it was all that estrogen. He had no choice. It might have happened. It might have happened to him if he stayed around long enough.
I think he was a legitimate trans because you know what? He always was a little weird. Like even when he was at Gold's Gym, he would always have like weird outfits on, and he looked like he had like weird plastic surgeries. I
remember OJ coming to Gold's a couple of times.
I heard that OJ trained at Vince's gym. Vince Carranza.
A couple of times. I saw him in Gold's.
I saw OJ a few times at the gym.
Yeah. OJ probably went there for the chicks, though. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure he had a root. Yeah. But I actually went. I was living there at the time, and I had just moved to San Diego during the trial, and I was riveted to it, man. I admit it. I was a junkie. I had actually bought a separate TV to put on my desk on the corner of my desk, so I could work in my office while I could work in my office while I was watching the trial. I actually went to the condo, and I went to.
You did?
Yeah. I went and checked everything out. I had to see it for myself.
Ken Keane didn't like OJ because he always used to park in the back alleyway and come through the back gate.
Oh, they weren't allowed to do that?
That's being funny. That's how he parked at the house. Come on, keep up. It hasn't been that.
Wow, Lee, that went right over my head, man. That was a good one.
Hey, have you guys seen? You know Bob the Bee Sapp?
No.
Yeah.
You know Bob Sapp?
Bob Sapp.
Yeah, Bob Sapp was very good friends with me. When he graduated high school, he was playing football, and then when he went into the fighting,
he did K1, didn't he? K1.
Yeah. He's a big deal in Japan, and he fought over champions. He was Bob the Beast. Now he's bodybuilding. He's in Korea now, and
him and Shaq.
Have you seen him recently?
No.
I'm going to show you.
He was pretty fit back in the day, so
he's
holy shit.
He's still pretty big. He's got to be my age, Bob. He might be a year younger too.
I mean, I wouldn't call him an X-frame, but he's giant. Why is he beating up the Japanese guy? Is he racist?
More easy.
Like
this is my rap. Sit on my lap and wear my cap. Ooh.
Look at Bob bodybuilding. He's now doing bodybuilding.
Oh, the music. Boom, 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 boom.
Can't play the music.
Wow. No, you can't allow to play the music.
No. So
looks like Mike
we got to get him on the show. He's gonna. He's going to try to make some time and get on the show with us.
Yeah. And the thing,
Bob's a character, man.
If he goes to compete, I wouldn't want to be the judges if he gets angry.
Yeah, he's going to compete. He's competed in a few shows in Korea now, but
wow.
Yeah. He used to come to Australia a lot, to Tony's gym, and that's where I'm going after I finish here. Going to walk to Tony's gym in the city of Melbourne.
Now, are you guys on good terms, you and Tony Doherty?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Tell him I said hi.
Yeah, tell him I said that too. I love Tony.
Good guy.
Very good guy.
Good guy. Yes,
as Valentino would say.
Yes, he's a good guy.
What's going on? What's going on with? The only person I can get information from is from you, Lee. What's going on with Jimmy? I was texting with him yesterday. I said, I heard there was a rumor you were in Florida. You didn't tell anyone. I said, is it true? He goes, it's true.
He went to Florida because I said, you're going to see Dave, and then he sent me a video. He was already heading home, towing the boat back home.
Oh, he towed a boat down there. Went right.
He did a job.
Yeah. Yeah, so I said, you're going to call in to see John then? And he didn't reply. Don't hear from him all week. And then he just sent me a couple of flat earth stuff, so I know he's still alive. and then we went to do the confessions today, but I've got to go to the expo, so I'll probably do the confessions at this time tomorrow, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock his time.
Well, I think a good topic for discussion, Lee, would have him explain the eclipse if the Earth is flat.
Right. They have an explanation for it, John.
Well, I want to know what Jimmy's is. Unless he's just going to say that. But he might just say the eclipse was fake.
They just put a finger across the light bulb. They put a finger across.
Yeah. It's a light.
He did send me one yesterday or the other day. It was like the Earth like this, being round, and it has 2 lines coming up, and it says a plane at 5,000 feet only flies here. At 33,000 feet, as you go up more, the plane has to fly like 5 times the distance around the Earth.
Yeah, but the Earth is spinning though at the same time. So, well,
if the Earth is spinning so many thousand miles an hour, and if the plane's doing like say 1,000 k's, and the Earth's spinning at so many more thousand this way, if it's going that way and I'm flying that way, it should only take me 2 hours to get to Los Angeles.
Because we're spinning with the Earth.
The atmosphere is spinning with it.
Yeah.
I used to think when I was little, right? So I used to say, look, if you're on a plane and the plane's going down, you go under the ground, just when it's 10 feet off the ground, if you're in the plane and it's still together, jump. So that way, when the plane hits, you've only gone 10 feet.
That makes sense. That's like if you're, you need to go from row 2 to row 27. If you just jump up in the air, the plane should just move under you.
Exactly, John. Exactly.
Exactly.
Or if I go up in a hot air balloon and just hover, the Earth should move under.
Or if the elevator is flying down and is out of control, then you should just be able to jump up for the last. Right.
Exactly. Then you've only gone that foot.
Only a foot.
Yeah, there's some. I think this is good.
This is almost Ladies of the View level science.
Oh my God!
If I go lay in the ocean on a floaty, and I'm on my coast. If I just lay there, I should be in California as the world spins.
Yeah.
Did you see that Congresswoman trying to explain that the moon is made out of gas?
Oh, I saw that.
And she couldn't get the glasses on. They were like upside down. She couldn't get the glasses on, and she's explaining complex, physics of what the moon is made out of and what the sun is made out of, and how you can't go too close to the sun because it's hot. And that's why the moon is just. How do they think they're going to populate the moon when it's just a bunch of gas? I mean, and this is a number.
Is she serious?
And I love
as
getting
a heart attack. As a heart attack.
Getting my cheese from the moon. That's why cheese is so expensive. They got to import
it from the moon.
There you go. What about Kamala,
the green cheese?
Kamala, isn't this wonderful?
Right.
Isn't this wonderful? Not since 2022. In 2022, the women had brackets in the basketball. Can you believe that? How far we come? 2022, we have brackets, and they say, Kamala, we've had brackets in it since 1983. Not since 2022 have women had brackets in.
I wonder why
the only sane thing. What?
I just wonder. My question is, I wonder why her handlers don't check what she's going to say before she says it. She says the dumbest fucking
stuff. She's too dumb, John. It's everything. Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean,
She's too
don't
dumb.
the people that like manage her, have a brain? I mean, or is it all just a bunch of dumb fucks?
Think about it. Think about it.
She makes
Isn't this
Sarah
wonderful?
Palin look like she was a genius, Josh.
Yep.
Isn't this
Exactly.
wonderful? Think about it.
Sarah
Think about
Palin
it.
is like a
AI, Dave. AI. Think about this. Think about this. AI. It's 2 letters. AI. Yes. Remember when you said that? I'm like,
And what's it stand for, Kamala? Can you tell us that again?
I think that they sometimes say to themselves, let's find the dumbest person we possibly can to take the role of vice president.
Dave, you're cutting
So
out.
they don't have any thoughts of their own that have any merit whatsoever. And that's how they pick these people. Remember Sarah Palin was the same way.
So it's him. It's
she
not
was just
us.
hot. She wasn't like
Dave, you're cutting in and out.
The only sane person out there, I think, is who's cutting in and out.
We can't hear you, Dave. We can't hear you. Yes, we can't hear you.
I can hear Dave, but then he freezes.
You can't?
You keep freezing and roboting and freezing and roboting and you're all out of focus. It's like Steve Blackman is your audio man.
Welcome to the Shotgun Big Show with John and Lee. We're back.
We're back again.
It's been a long time, but we're back.
For a reunion of the Shotgun Big Show.
Yeah. And this is where the truth hurts.
Isn't it amazing how we both went full circle from being the most hated, pariahs in the industry to
what about now?
You're still fuzzy.
Oh shit!
You look good to me. It's weird. You look good to me.
I look perfect to myself. So
right, no, you just cleared up.
All right.
It's John. Yeah. It's John getting those strong wins.
Yeah. All right. So the only sane person left in the entire industry, I think, is Steve Weinberger. Look what he did in his gym.
Excuse me, Dave. John and I haven't welcomed you back to the
Shotgun
Big Show.
I heard that you're in the new TV show. Yeah.
Yes.
Look at his
no
new
tripods. All right.
New rules at Bev Francis Powerhouse Gym. No tripods on the gym floor. No gym bags on the gym floor. You're done.
My God. That's gonna cause so much. I hope Steve is giving out Xanax because this is going to cause so much.
He doesn't care what anyone thinks. That's what's so great about it. If you don't like it,
I'm surprised Diamond Jim did it first.
Here's your money back.
I would have thought he would have done it before Diamond Jim, but Kemper's not around anymore. So
that's true.
You watch people now try to put their phones up on the dumbbell rack.
I think that the gym owners are afraid to say this, even though they want to, because they think they're going to lose members. That's what, all these big chains.
That's why I like watching the Joey Swole videos. You see some of those people who set up their tripods, and then there's one the other day, the girl's got a tripod set up, and she's doing stiff-legged with a dumbbell, so she's just showing her ass and shit. This guy went to put his dumbbells back. She's like, "Excuse me, my camera's there. You walked in front of it." I'm like,
yeah, I mean, I have a very large friend who trains at Diamond Gym, and he one day got fed up with the tripod issue. I think one of the tripod regulars actually brought a light also to add to his collection of equipment that he was bringing to the gym every single day to film every single rep of every single set. Yeah. Okay. And there were 3 of them, 3 different people doing this. And he just set his guy's like 6'2", 280. He set his sights for the other side of the gym and just walked, irrespective of what may have been in his path, which happened to be 3 tripods. One of whom was broadcasting live to Facebook. So he just bulldozed his way through the gym and stepped on everything and broke it all. And that's what they get sometimes. I
saw one guy didn't have a tripod. He was more advanced. He actually had like a phone holder with a magnetic base.
With a magnet that sticks to the
machines. I'm like, come on. But then, what was it?
That's actually less intrusive than a freaking tripod, Lee. I'd rather him see that that than a tripod.
Well, if it's out of the way, it's not on the floor. But there was a guy at my gym, and he was doing the same thing. And I'm just looking at him. He had the tripod. He had like one of those little lights that clip over your phone. I'm like, which is a big production. And I used to go back to shooting the Battle for the Olympia with Mitsuru, even doing photo shoots in the gym when we did my own videos with Mitz, the Blonde Myth and that. If anyone was in the background, we had to go get a signed model release that they had to sign saying, "Oh, look, excuse me, you're in the background. Is that okay?" And if they agreed to it, they signed the release. If not, we had to take that bit out of the video because we couldn't put them on the video or have them on film if they didn't give permission. So here you have all these people in the gym. A lot of people in the background don't want to be filmed. Let's just say you're even in witness protection, or you've moved out of state to get away from an abusive husband. Next thing, you're in the background of a video and someone goes, "Oh, I found where they are."
There he is. Yeah.
True.
Well, it could be unfortunate.
Mm.
Now, there was another topic I wanted to bring up with you guys that they were debating.
Is the Detroit Pro on this weekend before you?
Yes, it is. Fuad Abiyad is running that, yeah.
Okay.
Good veto. Looks really good. Chris Cecile has been sending me pictures. Now, this other debate is, should guys in the open division, number one, be required to, and then even if they're not required to, should they hit it? Should they do a vacuum pose, or should they flex their abs on the front double bicep? Some people think they shouldn't. Milos thinks it's a pose. You should hit abs. You should be able to see your abs. What do you guys think?
You can go first.
I like seeing the abs. Like the vacuum, to me, yes, it looks good on certain people. Like I think like the thinner ones like Zane, and for some reason it looks good. But yes, Nick can do a vacuum and that. But for me, on a bigger, freakier guy, just seeing the wall of abs and everything else just seems to fill in. When they suck it in, it just seems like something's missing. Like it's like the sculptor hasn't put the clay in there yet for the abs. So I'd rather see the abdominal wall and everything. It's like if you want to throw the vacuum in a routine or something, sure, but in mandatories, I don't really like it. It's just like, no.
I think with respect to a double bicep pose, especially, you kind of have to go with what looks best for your physique. Some people's torsos are longer, some are shorter. Their lats tie in higher or lower, depending on the shape of their abs, how lean they are. I think all of those things factor into which pose in your abs is going to complement the front double bicep the best for you. And I think I've seen it look good both ways, vacuumed and pose. So I think it just depends on the physique, how it comes together. It flows with either a vacuum or the long ab stretch shots. But
even like you see them do it too. You can see them do it where they might do it, but they're not sucking in. They're just standing up, so you can still see the ab wall, but it's not sucked in. Because sometimes when some people flex, as they do that, it brings everything down. So some people lose the illusion of being out. They go, ugh.
Right.
So it's like John said, you got to do what suits your physique the best. Like some people that doesn't look good on them. Some people, like I said, when they come down, it brings them down. So you got to find what works for you. But it shouldn't be too like different. It's like when people used to do the side tricep. Some would start twist and put their leg in a different position. Yeah. You got to keep it somewhat the same so we can compare. If everyone starts doing it so different, then you can't really compare how they all look.
No, it's not a front leg pose, the side tricep. You shouldn't be putting the leg forward like that. You should be hitting it normally. No, but I agree. It's really what looks best for your physique, and that's why you can't say it should be one way or another. Guys with long torsos tend to look better when you blow down on your abs because you got a longer, you're not shortening too much. If you have a short torso, you have to vacuum, because if you don't, you almost look too short, like you lose too much. It doesn't look right. It looks weird.
I think that's the important part of the latitude in those mandatories, is that you are allowed to adjust them somewhat, for what suits you best. So
some guys put a leg out to the side, right?
Right.
Does the latitude mainly come just for back poses?
I don't think so. I think it encompasses all. I mean,
see what I did
side
there?
tricep, for example.
See what I did there? The latitude.
No, actually, it went right over my head like the back gate.
Again. I'm on fire today, John, and you're missing out.
We're having a serious discussion on posing.
Oh, okay, let's get back
Silly
to
me.
Absolutely, John.
Absolutely, Lee. Absolutely.
I tell you, 5 a.m. popcorn and coffee does you good. Actually, it's kettle corn. I love the kettle corn, the sweet.
What's the difference? I don't even know.
I thought kettle corn is just fried in like lard or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah, but they put the sweet and salty on it, don't they?
Oh, they do? Oh.
They
must have a different name,
guy, so I don't know.
Now, there was another funny little, I guess you could say, drama queen type scenario in the bodybuilding world. I did a little video on it yesterday. Rafa Brandao won the Arnold Brazil, this past weekend, and Tonio Burton was second. A lot of people thought Tonio, myself included, should have won, but I guess Tonio was upset that Rafa had his whole entourage there, and he was getting preferential treatment. He thought, but it's his hometown, Brazil. What are you going to do? I mean, that's where he's from. Now, let me finish first.
Okay, go ahead.
So I guess Rafa had let Antonio train in his gym while he was there for a while prior to the show. And so he thought they were on good terms. And then, when you get backstage, it's battle time, and I guess Antonio felt he should have won. Brandao got straight first and won. I thought Tonio's, conditioning was a little better. And then, of course, after, I guess, Tonio went on a podcast and kind of trashed Rafa a little bit, which is really not Rafa's fault. It's the judge's fault, if anything, for picking him. I guess Rafa came back at him and said that Tonio clogged his toilet bowl up at the gym. Now, if any of you guys have gone to Brazil, you know that you don't flush toilet paper down the toilet bowl in Brazil. You got to throw it in the garbage pail, right? So I guess Tonio didn't know that. So.
All of Central and South America is like that.
So, but who in this crowd hasn't clogged the toilet bowl up in their day? I'm sure we all have, right?
Right.
Oh yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Nothing more embarrassing if you clog up a toilet and someone's waiting to use it after you. I've had the point where I've had to actually do it. It's disgusting where I've clogged it up. So I put my hand down, my hand in the toilet, and I'm pushing the toilet and shit up the S-bend like this, scooping it up. And then I flush it again and scoop the water over the S-bend. It works. You really push it up.
You're gonna kill Dave.
Oh my God,
that's a shitty story.
Now, here's the question, Lee: was it your own?
I got that, John. I got that one.
Was it your own shit, Lee, or was it someone else's shit that you had to do that too?
That was mine. That was mine.
All right.
I have cleaned other people's shit off the cider bowls in gym toilets because I don't want to walk out and somebody think it's me. So I'll get the toilet brush and clean it. If there's no toilet brush, I get a whole heap of toilet paper and I wipe it. I'm not leaving the room because someone's going to think it's me. I got to clean that up.
You know what you got to do? It's like you're in an elevator, right? And it's like you and another person. And what you do is the elevator stops. It's your floor. They're staying in. You're getting out, and there's people getting in. You just let out one of those SBDs, silent but deadlies, and walk out the door. The second you walk out the door, the aroma is going to hit his nose as the other people are walking into the elevator, and we're immediately going to assume it's him. And then the elevator door shuts, and everybody's trapped in that room of this bench. And it's moving. Then it's better
if there's a girl in there, John, too, because it's nothing worse than if you think the girl did the fart.
Yeah. Well, if you luck out on that and do it to a girl.
What about when you're on a plane? I go to a plane toilet sometimes, and I'm like, just taking a piss. I walk in, I'm like, oh my God, someone's fucking. So now I'm in there, and I'm thinking, I got the fan going in the little, the air vent. Then I'm getting soap on a paper towel, and I put the soap near the air vent so the smell's blowing. Because I'm thinking, if I walk out and there's a nice girl or someone out there or anyone, they're going to be like, that fucker just did the smelliest shit. And it wasn't me. So I'm trying to get in there and diffuse the smell and flushing the toilet so it sucks the air out. The soap near the fan.
What astonishes me is this. You got to get to the airport 3 hours early. Your plane is usually delayed. You got all of this time to kill, but you wait to get on the plane to take a dump. What, you couldn't have done that somewhere else? I mean, to me, anybody who is like especially on a short flight under 4 hours, you can't hold it. I mean, you got to do, because a lot of times the plane bathroom, your seat is right there and the door is here, and they open the door and it's like direct shot, and it's like, but
John, I was in a restaurant the other day, and I went to the bathroom there, and someone was in the bathroom for a few minutes, and finally this girl opens the door, she looks at me, and she runs out of the bathroom. Hot, super hot girl. I go in there, it stunk. But you know what? For some reason, it didn't bother me that much because she was so hot that I was like, it's all right. If she would have been a fat, disgusting slob, I would have probably not even gone into the bathroom. That's how bad.
Valentino is rubbing off on you.
Yeah, I think so. It just didn't seem so bad coming from that.
Dave went in there sniffing the toilet seat.
Yeah. He actually stayed in there 5 minutes longer than he had to.
Yeah,
hey, Greg's on his phone. Greg, you got to tell you what's going on.
Greg, smell this. Smell
Greg,
this.
how quick can you get down here?
Yeah.
I always figure though on a plane it's a bit noisy if you got to go, but sometimes figure what if you really had a bad stomach problem and you got to take a dump on a Greyhound bus? That would be the worst.
Ooh, wow.
Did you ever hear the story about Andre the Giant? He once took a shit. He had to take a shit. He couldn't fit in the bathroom. They would give him a bucket, and they'd close the curtain, and he'd go in the back and he'd shit in a bucket, and then they'd have to pour it into the toilet bowl in the bathroom. He shit. He must have shit 10 pounds of shit so badly that the whole plane was so disgustingly stinky that they had to land the plane. Because people were like throwing up and passing out. The smell was so bad. It was like
this happened on an airplane.
On an airplane, yes, because he couldn't fit in the bathrooms, so he'd have to shit in a bucket, and
like they had the bucket. They had it. Just happened to have a bucket.
I guess he must have told them before he gets on. I need a bucket, to shit in.
No, so he like pre-warns them.
Yeah, yes, he's Andre the Giant.
He's got
in the event I have to take a dump during the flight. Here's the bucket you got to use.
Yeah,
and you got to what? Where? Wait.
In the galley. In the galley area.
I got to know how this works. So where do people go that are in the back that has to be curtained off?
Yeah.
Where do they go?
In the curtained off area. He squats over the bucket, and he takes a shit.
Where did you hear this?
I swear.
I don't believe this.
It was in the documentary. Watch the documentary.
What documentary?
On Andre the Giant on Netflix.
And they tell you that he had to take a...
You never seen that documentary?
Hogan said it stunk so bad on the plane, people were throwing up because it was the most vile thing they'd ever seen. Because Andre would eat like 20 pounds of food, and he would drink like 20 bottles of wine, and if he had a shit, it would be horrible. They said.
Oh my God!
And supposedly he loved farting, like on people and shit like that. He'd be like, "Watch this," and his farts, they said, would be like 10 minutes long. He'd be farting for.
Well, he's got a lot of intestinal tract there to come through. So,
for any of you kids who are thinking about getting into wrestling,
worst thing is he was so tall, he would literally be farting in everyone's face because he's that tall anyway.
Yeah, he couldn't even fit in the plane. He had to bend over. Right, exactly.
Another argument for
he'd go in the back where they heat up. He'd put the food in the microwaves to heat up your meals while he's taking a dump.
And he was always in first class, because he couldn't travel.
So that even complicates my question even more. He's in first class. It's the front of the plane. So where did they cordon off the area?
I guess he had to go to the back of the plane, John. And
with a bucket. They're carrying the bucket through the aisle into the plane, into the back. And they're going to say, all right, your last 5 rows, you got to move out. Andre's got to take a dump.
John, I'm sure he wasn't on one of those little express planes. I'm sure it was like a 747.
Imagine it's the biggest airplane we have, in a C-110 cargo plane. I want to know where in the plane
at the front,
are you going to set up this bucket, chamber pot? Okay,
at the front, remember,
and then curtain it off. So that he can fill it up. I want to know how that works.
It's like where you walk into plane, you can go this way to first or that way to coach. There's a little galley area that you got to walk through to get to the other side. They just curtain that bit off.
They prep the food there.
He takes a dump in the kitchen.
Andre's shitting now. He's just making fresh brownies for the flight crew.
You imagine he's shitting in this bucket, John, and the bucket's filling up more and more and more. They're like, "Oh shit." Literally, I hope he doesn't go overboard. I hope he doesn't go over the bucket.
Okay. That begs to ask another question. Is somebody monitoring this? Are we like, is there an attendant that's noticing the level of the bucket? And then who gets to empty it? And where? Where do they empty that? I mean,
maybe they got to throw it outside the plane or something like that. I don't know.
Or do they save it for the plane when the plane lands? They're going to put like
maybe
a shower.
Maybe they put like a
bucket.
maybe they seal it like a paint can, John. You know.
They take it to the pilot. He cracks that little front window and it sits up there.
You know, some things just sound so nuts. But like when you ask how, walk me through it. You know, it's like,
they hit turbulence and fucking shit goes everywhere.
Oh man. I don't know how
to look into that and see if that's real. I
don't believe it for a second.
It's real. I'm telling you, that's what Hogan.
I want to know how. Like I said, how. I want you to know. It's like, you know what it is? It's like Leo will appreciate this.
Yeah.
It's like the UFO videos. Okay. We have technology now where they can take a picture from outer space and you can read the license plate numbers in Miami on the cars. Okay. We can do that, but every single picture of a UFO, every single one, thousands and thousands and thousands of them, they're all fucking, that's it. Exactly. Blurry, just like Leah's doing. Right. Exactly.
And you're like, we've got, like you said, we've got all these high-tech cameras now. Everything, even slow-mo on your iPhone, you got everything with high quality, and we still get this little blurred thing, and you're like, what is that, a fly on the lens? Is a black as night?
Lee, they flew a drone on Mars with a camera on it. They sent back crystal clear pictures.
I got it here. It was Brutus the Beefcake. According to Brutus the Beefcake, another former wrestler, when their flight was delayed, Andre's routine of using the bathroom before leaving the hotel was interrupted, leading to the fateful chain of events. So I guess he would poop before he went on the plane, like you said. When the wrestlers boarded the plane, Beefcake escorted Andre to the back of the plane, closed the curtains, hoping to provide the wrestler with some privacy. Unfortunately, this merely served to increase the impact of Andre's efforts. According to the Beefcake, the sounds that are coming out of there, the smell started coming forward, and the back of the plane had a lot of people. The wrestler recounts that passengers were falling out of their seats, gagging, puking, crying, screaming, and we were all falling to the floor, laughing ourselves sick. I couldn't breathe. He must have filled up a garbage bag full of shit. Other travelers
there was no bucket.
Confirmed the incident.
So there was no bucket.
The result was that the plane had to make an emergency landing immediately after takeoff so the cleanup crew could handle the situation.
Oh, my God. Wait, so there was no bucket?
No, he must have done it in a bag, I guess. He's shit in a bag, yeah.
Get that motherfucking shit off my fucking plane.
John, if we were with him, can you imagine how we would have been laughing out as we were gagging? We would have been
That's
laughing.
why I want a clearer picture of this. I just got it. So he's got a garbage bag? He's just standing up with a garbage bag?
Yeah, I guess he's shitting into the bag, and people are puking from the smell.
Hold on, carry on.
Yeah, Lee, enact this out for me, please. Exactly. And Andre weighed what, 475?
Yeah, close to 500 pounds. Yeah,
right.
He was 7'4", right? Wasn't he?
Bit of privacy. Turbulence.
Turbulence, Lee. Turbulence.
I'll say that.
Return to your
They had to make an emergency landing. That's the funny thing.
That's the nutty part, man. I was on a plane once that had to make an emergency landing because an obese woman got stuck in the toilet in the bathroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which was really weird because the door.
That's it, Lee? That's all you filled up?
Excuse me, can you get the captain?
It's like that scene from Borat.
Yeah. Lee, that's like a lunchbox worth of poop. I'm sure Andre probably had a fucking hefty bag full of poop.
A leaf bag.
Yeah, a leaf bag, exactly.
Even him wiping his ass. He was such a big guy. His hair would probably go in his ass crack just wiping his ass.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many components to this if you walk through it that you just got to like, how?
We want to break it down.
Well, he knew that he couldn't get into the bathroom on the plane. It was just too small. So he would poop before he went, but I guess they were like in a rush, and so he didn't have time to go to the bathroom, you know?
But he had the foresight to bring the garbage bag.
I don't know if he
was on the plane.
Gave him one on the plane, probably.
I'm detail oriented. I gotta know all the minutia, the pieces.
Is Brutus the Beefcake still alive? We should get him on the show.
Get him on the show and ask him.
Yeah, we got to have him tell that Andre the Giant
Oh
story.
my
That-
God,
it.
that would be nuts.
Wait till Samuel Jackson comes out in part 2 of Shits on a Plane. It's going to be great.
No,
They
I
should
mean,
reenact. They should do a movie like a real. I don't know who would play Andre, but they should do a like a real made-for-TV movie about.
Oh, they
Andre.
could get that. Who's that? He's Indian. Though. Who's that big Indian bodybuilder actor?
They'd have to put a a wig on him or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, they got to get someone who can play Andre though. There's got to be a giant.
Would it stay? No, because anyone can be anything they want to be. They could probably have
CGI it, yeah.
Ryan Gosling could be Andre because he could just say. Well, look at that movie, Anne Boleyn. She was the queen of whatever, and Anne Boleyn? She had Elizabeth. It wasn't her daughter, Elizabeth I or whatever. Yeah. But yet the Netflix TV show, Anne Boleyn's a black woman.
Oh yeah, they changed it. Yeah. That's because they were trying to be woke,
Right.
Yeah, but that, I understand if you want to change a made-up character, but when you're doing someone in history, now imagine the outcry. Imagine the outcry if I get Liam Neeson to play Malcolm X next month.
Right.
Now that's gonna be like what?
Right. Wasn't it Marie Antoinette or something like that she played or something like that? Was that what it was?
It's something like that. Yeah, it was like one of those ones. I think it could have been Antoinette or it was either Anne Boleyn or and she's black.
Marie Antoinette, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you change a whole character? And it's like if you want to make it
ridiculous, yeah.
They live in a ridiculous Little Mermaid. They made the Little Mermaid.
Well, yeah, but what Lee's point is, you can do it with a fictional character. You can't do it with a real historical character.
Yeah, true.
Because that's ridiculous. You're changing history, then
Didn't they have in the Michael Jackson movie? Didn't they have a white boy play him as a kid?
Maybe that's possible.
I think they did.
Did you see the? I don't think I sent it to you, John. I sent it to Lee. Did you see the All in the Family clip I sent you?
Yes. Which one? Because you've sent me several.
Yeah, I have seen the one where he says, "I got to get myself a good Jew lawyer." You ever see that one? and Mike, is his brother-in-law, his son-in-law, was like, "Why can't you just get a lawyer? Why does it have to be a Jew lawyer?" He goes, "I'm suing an Arab. I need someone who's going to hate them." That show was so ahead of its time.
And that's funny, though, if you take it for what it is and laugh at it, because Jewish people are good lawyers, and they did have that love-hate with
accountants, lawyers, doctors, right?
Why can't we just take and laugh at ourselves anymore? Like
Archie Bunker said exactly what everyone was thinking. And you know what? It's so funny because today it would never fly. They could never do that show today.
But the humor came from the truth.
Right.
It was true. That's why it was funny.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah.
And that was running.
He would say, "You got your Hebes,
your chinks, your
snaps, your chinks."
You were able to say all that stuff then. Yeah.
And you got your Puerto Ricans up there. And
Al Bundy would be peg 5 across the eyes, peg 5 across the eyes.
Yeah.
Just reaching into his pants, sitting on the couch would be offensive now.
You remember the woman who lived next door? Not the Jeff.
Marcy.
Yeah, Marcy. He's like, aren't you worried about your husband? She's like, what do you mean? Well, he cooks. What people might say. She's like, what are people going to say? That he's a fag.
but then it'd always be like Marcy. You'd be like, no.
Yeah. It's funny because you can't even say that word anymore. It's so weird that was on regular TV.
And it'd make jokes about her being a little man or boy or something.
Yes, yeah.
But on the other hand, okay, it's forbidden to make fun of anything that's true. Okay. Right. But on the other hand, it's okay to completely lie and gaslight people,
right?
And that's okay. The economy's doing great. It's there's no inflation. It's just your imagination,
right?
I mean, the border's not open. There's just
no one comes.
Crime's down. What are you talking about? Crime's down. Crime's not
actually
up.
Crime is down in Venezuela, though.
It is because all the criminals are here, right?
Yeah, they're all here. Exactly.
And the funny thing is, you get them. Well, I'm quoting FBI statistics. Of course you are, because they don't report the crimes anymore. If you
they let people go,
right? You let them right back out. There's no crime. I mean, the crime is going down because you're not charging them.
You remember when Batman came out, the movie with the one with Christian Bale, and Gotham City was like overrun with criminals because no one was doing anything about it.
Yes, I remember.
That'll never happen. It's happening.
That'll never happen.
It's happening, yeah.
And then
Batman
I want to know.
Remembers.
Where is the FCC? How is it the FCC allow a show like The View to be on?
The View.
How is that even possible that would fly? Right. And then something like, All in the Family would never happen.
No.
Right?
Did you see Sunny giving her whole synopsis on the earthquake, the eclipse, and climate change, and how it's coming?
She was trying to blame it all on climate change. Yeah.
And you know what frustrated her the most?
She blamed the eclipse on climate change, John. Yeah.
I know, but do you know what frustrated her more than that? Was that she couldn't blame it on racism. No, she wanted to blame it on racism, but she came that close. But no,
even Whoopi Goldberg was like,
if there was a way to blame an eclipse on racism, she would have done it.
But John, the funny thing is, even Whoopi Goldberg was appalled that she would blame the eclipse on climate
cicadas.
Change. Right.
The cicadas.
You're gonna have cicada.
And this is what happens when you let affirmative action allow people to get into Harvard. Because just because you can say I have a Harvard education does not mean you're smart.
No.
Sonny Hostin is probably one of the dumbest people on the face of the earth.
And race.
One
race,
of the
everything.
You know what the funny thing is also? What I got to take back all my fat jokes about Whoopi Goldberg. She actually lost a lot of weight. She's got to be on Mounjaro or Ozempic or something.
Yeah,
like
she's
that.
on a drug.
She definitely lost a ton of weight. She's on the Oprah diet for sure.
Did you see that Sonny the other day? They had that black guy on talking about his new book where he's just talking about don't move ahead, stop doing this, and she's like, I read your book twice, and he's thinking, I saw him on another show. He's like, she didn't read my book twice in that number of days, and she's like telling this black guy that he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm thinking, you're more, because she's like half Puerto Rican or something, is she? But the funniest thing was when she went on that show and found out she was from slave owners, she's like, oh. Her family actually left whatever country they were in because they got rid of slavery. So they moved to America with their slaves because they didn't want to give them up. And she's like, oh, well, I guess, we all have stuff in the past. I'm thinking, oh, now it's okay. Is it?
Now it's okay. Right, exactly.
Yeah,
guys, I got to run for a second. I got to take care of it.
All right, we're wrapping up anyway, John. Right. I just want to thank everyone for joining us again. It was great having tea and coffee with you guys on a nice Friday afternoon.
I actually did have a coffee. Now I'm having a tea. There
you go. Lee, send our best to Tony Doherty and have a great time this weekend.
Mr. G's cup.
I'm going to go and shit in the bucket and Mr. G's cup. I saw Mr. G online yesterday with Greg and Joe Zapata. He's very
really?
Too.
Yeah, he's mad at Dave and me. So
yeah, that's all right.
Right. Anyway,
I had to calm him down. I was talking to
John Scuderi about that, and you know what, John? Scuderi thinks that video he sent us was real, and that's why he's insulted because that was a real training video on his part.
Come on.
In which case, if it is, he's in big trouble. But you know what? I love George. If you want to be mad at us, I don't care. We're looking out for.
We're looking out for him.
I told George if he wants to be good, I said, George, you got to get Jay Cutler in your corner so Dave will actually give you props.
That's right. There you go. And on that note, we are out. See you guys
later,
next
guys.
week.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Later.